Sheila. Like most of us, Sheila can be forgetful. In the past, she's misplaced her keys and has been locked out of her house. That's not fun. So Sheila got into the habit of hiding her keys under her welcome mat. It's a great tactic, or so she thinks. Only one day, a passerby notices Sheila's hiding spot. The intruder comes back later when she's away and is able to unlock her door. Yikes! He now has full access to Sheila's home. Whether you know it or not, this scenario has probably happened to you or someone you know. Only instead of keys to a house, it's a password for a website, an application, or a device. Did you know that the biggest digital privacy breaches are related to users sharing their passwords? Just like Sheila's home intruder, anyone who knows your password can assume your identity and can access your private information. Thankfully, it doesn't have to be this way. We'll share some tips and tricks to prevent your digital keys from getting into the wrong hands. As York Region District School Board employees, we're entrusted with some pretty sensitive data. Some of this private data is our own. Think of your pay stubs, the address you have on file, and your bank account number, just to name a few. You may also be the keeper of another person's sensitive information. Think of the manager who has access to employee data, or the teacher who has access to student data. These roles require extra digital precaution. MFIPA states that whatever your role, it is your duty to protect any personal information and data you may be exposed to, whether it's your own or another's. So let's talk about what you can do. Our first rule is, passwords should never be written down or hidden. Here are 3 ways you can help prevent a privacy breach. Keep your password safe and secure. Lock down your device and report immediately if you suspect a privacy violation. Board Procedure 194, Appropriate Use of Technology, identifies that all users must maintain their password and user ID confidentiality and restrict access to their passwords. Although we all know that passwords should be kept private, how many of us always follow this important rule? Think of Sheila, who hid her key under a mat, thinking it was a safe spot only to have someone gain access to her house. Remember that passwords are like our digital keys, and we can't afford to make the same mistake as Sheila. The second rule is, never share your password with anyone. This includes coworkers, students, and friends or family. Did you know that IT will never ask for your password in an email? Hackers use a technique called phishing to find out vulnerabilities such as a username, password, or other sensitive data. One strategy phishers use is to mimic the look of a board email, whether using a similar email address or embedding images like the board logo in an email. If you receive an email like this asking you for personal information or password, do not reply to the email. Do not click any links or open any attachments, and report it immediately to the help desk. Our third rule of password security is to change your password on a regular basis, or whenever you suspect a privacy breach. In 2014, the board will mandate all users to change their passwords on a 90-day schedule to promote information security. Password protecting your devices, whether they are personal or board provided, is a requirement as outlined in Board Policy 194. This means any cell phone, computer, or tablet with access to board applications needs a password to log on. Setting a password on your devices is only one part of device security. Leaving yourself logged in on a public device or one that belongs to a coworker or student also consists of a privacy hazard. Let's look at an example together. Kwan needs his new coworker to access a document on the BWW, but the coworker does not yet have intranet access. Kwan considers logging him on with his own credentials, but remember, by doing this, his own private data, as well as his colleagues, is made vulnerable. What alternatives does Kwan have to share a document without the potential of a privacy breach? We need to be working together to thwart the efforts of those who seek and exploit access to our personal data. Remember to report any suspicions you may have of a privacy breach to the help desk. The board appreciates the active role you play in digital privacy and data safety.